You're listening to the Gag On This podcast.
I see you standing up and I want to knock you
Down from the ceiling.
Yeah. It's it's indicative of a
I was gonna say I picture like Edward R. Murrow, like you're gonna feed us the news.
That's actually funny because I went to Edward R. Murrow High School.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I went to a communication arts high school in Brooklyn, named after Edward R. Murrow.
To say good night and good luck on your yearbooks.
It's not so on the nose about it, but I mean, I certainly like learned like who he was. Obviously, if you go to a high school named after the guy, so
your mascot is a cigarette.
Learn something.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to let you guys know, all of you are apparently wrong because Huron is coming on right now.
Well, okay,
My bad.
Yeah, and I'm glad I'm recording so I could let the audience know that you fuckers are wrong.
It has happened a time or two. I have been wrong.
Yes, you have. Oh, Sharon's got that face. He's got the face of he can't connect to audio. Oh no.
Oh no, what?
There he
is.
All right.
Oh, wow. The mic.
We can begin. Yeah.
Trying to find a good picture for a background or something. I did one Zoom show during the pandemic and it was a Star Trek themed Zoom show. That was the only thing that got me like hyped for a Zoom show. Like I loved the idea of the show, but I was always like I don't know about Zoom comedy, but like it was a fun show. Like the energy was cool. But yes, it was a Star Trek themed / sci-fi themed stand up show.
So which Star Trek is yours?
Good question.
It's a tie between DS9 and Discovery, but also like. My guilty pleasure runner-up, like, hey, not so bad when you think of it this way, is Enterprise. Sorry, not sorry.
What should I know what DS9 is?
Deep Space
Nine.
Deep Space Nine. It's one of the many Star Trek spinoffs based off the 60s show.
It's the one where they don't go anywhere.
It's two black people, he said. The two black captains.
Wait, I said the two black? Oh.
Yep. Yes, you did.
Yeah, I suppose it. Yeah. Well, I mean, is it inappropriate for me to even say like that's Discovery is led by like
I didn't
a black
say that.
woman?
No,
like,
No.
I just said two black captains.
We are not woke here on Gag On This. Hence the title. This is the goddamn Gag On This podcast. Sure. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
I didn't know if that was you just trying to go for like a long pause or what the heck you were doing.
He doesn't know what he's doing either.
I was going
to add in crickets and
it's like what was like where's he going?
Episode description of the show and guest social media. Like and follow us on all social medias. You will see there'll be a thing somewhere around here that'll have it. Subscribe to our YouTube page here and watch the episode 2 days before it is released. See our beautiful faces. Like what you hear, leave a review. Hate what you hear, as usual, go fuck yourself. I'm your host, Big Nick, joined by the nationally traveling comedian, Italian Stallion, Danny T.
Hey.
Hey. We got co-host of the Stand Up Dads podcast, my Portuguese lover and mover of friends, Rob.
Hello.
We got host of the Iambic Poetry podcast, vice president of Sacramento Poet Society, poet laureate, all around good guy, Sharon.
Hi.
And we are joined by the hilarious New York-based comedian, Alex goddamn Simmons.
Woo!
Hello.
Woo! See, there you go.
So yeah, you actually came to my awareness because you put on a show that a former guest, Abigail Nolan, was on.
Abigail, yeah, she was really good on that show too, actually.
I love that bitch. I love her. I stayed with her when I was in New York. I fucking love her so much.
Yeah, she's doing big things, getting drunk a lot, I see.
Well, I mean, it's a choice.
She's from New Orleans.
That makes sense.
Choice. Nice.
Yeah. I've never been to New Orleans, but anyway, go on. Sorry.
I haven't either. I hear it's a shithole.
Nah, it's no worse than Sacramento.
That's not saying much.
All right. So you are program director for now you called it the Huron. It's not Huron, like the lake?
I think it might actually be Huron, and I just intentionally mispronounce it because I'm an idiot to fuck you up, and I'm an idiot. You know, I mean, obviously, I don't think this crowd is going to mind, but I did some bong rips before this just to cool my nerves and stuff.
Yes,
so,
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my bong is named Stephen Bongheim, so it's always at the ready, and it sees good use because it's a podcasts are cool. I listen to a lot of podcasts, but I rarely on a podcast. Last podcast I was on was a Disney podcast, so this is definitely a leap.
Yeah,
we're close. We're close to Disney. We're close Disney podcast.
Yeah. So the only Disney thing we've done is we rated the sexual attractiveness of Disney princesses.
What Disney princesses we wanted to fuck?
Oh, absolutely.
That's
Everybody ranks them in their head. Who doesn't?
Which, by the way, it is apparently against Jasmine and Ariel. Those are the final two. So
Jasmine or Ariel. Okay. I'm old school. I always like Snow White. Maybe because I like dark haired girls. So, go figure.
There you go. Putting it out there.
So what was the
Jasmine
Disney?
was dark.
Oh, really? I'm just kidding.
What are you saying, Sharon?
What was the Disney theme podcast about?
It was a comedian, Ray Goots, and he just watches every Disney movie and he expands on it. So it's Disney and all their properties. And I think he's watching them in release order or something, but he just brings on a different comedian to talk about it. He brought me on because we both have something in common. We've managed comedy clubs for a living, like for a paycheck, you know what I mean? So you have a different angle on comedy a little bit if you've managed or worked at a venue. And he was talking about Ratatouille. So we were talking about hospitality, New York. It was also the middle of the pandemic when a lot of restaurants were takeout only and all the chairs were flipped up. It was the city was different at that time. So we were airing a lot of stuff and just talking. It was a cool pod.
Is he gonna dig out the Song of the South? That was the one that Disney self-banned.
I see that.
Probably. Yeah. I mean,
if you're gonna do it, do them all, man.
I maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know.
We'll never put that one up. Wow, that sounds.
It's still because I was pulling it up and it's still available on YouTube.
Is it? On YouTube, but I don't think you can get it.
Nah.
Oh no, you can't get it on the Disney channel. No.
Nah, yeah, you can't sell it.
So you brought up your bong's name, Stephen Bongheim. So I'm just gonna get right into it. You go to plays a lot.
That's true.
Have you seen Hamilton?
Yes.
My God.
Of course I've seen Hamilton.
Okay. Now, I just want to ask you because Danny and I are the only ones that see eye to eye on this. It is not good, right?
It is good.
There's a solid 20 or 30 minutes you can cut from each act. I'll be real. I saw it, and here's the thing. I saw it, and I really liked the music. I'm rocking out to a lot of that music. A lot of the early stuff in the show is bang on. And Lin-Manuel, people can talk all the shit they want about him, but the guy's a talented guy. You don't get billions of people listening to your music if you don't have something to back it up, some kind of artistry behind it. Whether it's a room full of 30 people using his name and face, or if it's all coming from him, I don't care. He sells it. So whatever. There's some good music in there, but it's a little long. It's a little long for both acts. And kind of repetitive too. I get repeating the bump thing through the show. And I'm down with that. I love a good repetition in a musical, but some of the numbers themselves start to sound like each other. And it's like watching Les Mis, there's great music in Les Mis, but the more you sing, the more you cheapen the singing, who would watch a Marvel movie, which would be 2 solid hours of full on CGI action sequence. Nobody wants that. It's got to pop and be special.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I probably would. I'm very uncultured. I mean, I still think the fucking Brave Little Toaster is the greatest.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I like the Brave Little Toaster.
Still awesome.
Yeah.
Danny, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Yeah, that's goddamn right. You're not.
Smoking a joint.
Oh, good. So I do want to, because we've never had somebody that actually runs a comedy club for a living. So I just want to ask this. What's the one thing a comedian should not do if they want to get on a show?
The one thing that they should not do if they want to get on the show is think that if they email you a tape, like they email a tape to the booker and the booker doesn't respond, or the booker says, I don't have room for you right now, that's it. They're never getting on. Send me another tape in a few months. Let me see how you're growing as a comic. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people, I wouldn't tell like anybody how to book or how to treat other comics or anything, you know what I mean? But every time I see an email from a comic that I don't know, I'm like, oh boy, here's an opportunity to meet another comic, to see a tape, see someone who wants to be on my show. Maybe there's something we can do for each other, or maybe they're just straight up so talented I got a book for them, you know, and I got a book that I pull them down on my stage. But I certainly can't find good talent and find good comics that are learning and growing and developing if they email me one tape and then think my polite but firm, like, hey, no, not right now, sorry, means I don't want you at all. Like it's not a zero-sum thing, or it's not an all or nothing. So I would say that would be a number one thing. But a more conventional answer to that would also be just like, don't get salty with someone who might like want to, who somebody wants to say no. Like don't get salty or get aggressive, or I don't know, anything like that. But that doesn't happen all too often. But definitely like a lot of comics don't follow up or send me any more tapes. So like I feel like I might be missing out on comics who could be really talented or like are growing and becoming talented. But I wouldn't know.
So don't be a dick and don't give up.
Yeah, don't be a dick.
So
Don't
percentage wise, like I know it like probably ebbs and flows, but like for how many emails do you have to go through before you get one that you get excited about?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. You know, like any booker, like you have your core group of people. You have the people you're always gonna book, and you know that when they're available, or you know they will be available. And also, like I don't advertise for it, so I don't get a lot of emails. You know, I don't want to sound condescending at all, but like I don't need to advertise to grab comics. Like I know it. I've been doing this for a while now. Not at Huron. Huron is a very young club, but like I've booked comedy in New York City and or managed at a venue, basically like lump it all together since like 2015. So like I don't need to advertise to find a comic.
Yeah.
And that's a huge part of it. And if I did have to advertise or if I did have to cast out a net, I would ask a comic for a direct reference or recommendation.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nice. And that's at the Huron.
I think it's Huron. Look, I mean, it's I think it's the lake. I think it's got to do with the lake, because the lake's got to do with the native tribe that was on the land first. Because the land that Huron rests on was first owned by Washington, then by Aaron Burr. Sorry, I also almost said Hamilton at first, or I almost said Lin-Manuel Miranda, because like they're interchangeable. All the founders, they just like meld together. But I already forgot the point I was making. Sorry.
Why it's called Huron.
Why it's called Huron. Yeah, I think it's got to do with the tribe that was, or the natives that were there first.
I remember going to New York, and my first time being on Houston Street.
Houston, not the Texas city.
I was like, wait a minute, why is that still Houston? My girl's like, it's Houston. I see Houston. It's Houston.
Yeah, and you gotta love the fact that if you spend a lot of time in Manhattan, you notice that like below 14th Street was the part of the city that they invented before they invented the right angle. Because then once you get above, all of a sudden everything is a grid, and it's like Tron up in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
But everything south of 14th Street, is basically Gotham. Like that's like when they were writing Batman, that's what they were thinking about. Old school New York, below 14th Street at midnight, you know, depressing and dark and gothic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're program director at the Huron Club, which is, it's a part of the SoHo Playhouse.
Yeah. So the Huron Club is the space downstairs in the building. So technically, actually, the whole building is named Huron Club. It's etched in stone on the building. Because like I said, the land was owned by Washington, then he sold it to Aaron Burr. Aaron Burr left town after he shot Hamilton, and it was auctioned off to some guy who developed it and put in row houses there. And it was a meeting hall. It was a speaking hall and meeting hall, and it was a popular hangout for the Democratic Party, actually. As we were talking about before, like the warm-up. They call it a warm-up. What?
A warm-up.
So basically, it was a speaking hall, it was a meeting hall through the turn of the century. So through like the gangs of New York / Gilded Age ish kind of era of New York City. And then by the 60s, the esteemed playwright Edward Albee started doing stuff there as a theater. And it was called Village Theater South through the 60s, 70s. It may have had other names too, like venues like that can change hands like creatively a couple times, I guess. Like I don't know the full history. But around the 90s was when SoHo Playhouse came in, and they've been more or less permanent there. They are there. Just doing edgy, cool off-Broadway stuff. Their main stage is on the ground / like slightly elevated floor. That's where they run their main stage stuff. Right now they have Alex Edelman's show, Just For Us, up there, which is hilarious. He's back next week. It's going to be great. And then they have like a rehearsal loft in their third floor space. So 3 spaces. And the Huron Club is like the speakeasy for the Huron building, you know what I mean? Where like the mayor would hang out or Democrats would hang out. It was like, it has its own private door. Like it's one of the most oldest speakeasy areas of New York City.
That's dope.
Yeah. A lot of history in the building.
Yeah, I saw the list of the things going on there, and I saw Edelman, and I was like, Julian Edelman's doing comedy? And then I was like, oh. Because if that were the case, I'd be taking my wife, because she gets wet over that guy.
What's his name? Julie Edelman?
Julian. Well, it's
Julian.
Share the screen time. We're going to pull him up.
Oh, yeah.
Huron.
Look at that. You Google him so much. Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh.
I'd be there in 5
football.
seconds.
Oh, okay. I am admittedly not much into sports. I respect the heck out of athleticism, certainly.
And he plays for the Patriots.
This is the thing that my wife loves.
Oh wow! He's
Right
got his own fan fiction. That's okay. Fan art and fan fiction over a football play. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
If I put him on my fantasy football team, would he like shoot magic missiles or something? Or
Maybe.
Missiles.
Maybe.
Wow.
Your wife and I have the same taste.
Yeah, she fucking.
Except for when it comes to you. Shots fired.
You're not a sports fan and you're in New York? I find that.
No, I am a sports fan. Like I understand and appreciate athleticism. Like I love watching Super Bowls and World Series and stuff. And like seeing high level play, like seeing like the way these the meta games work out is intense. And I love it. My wife is from Long Island, so I'm legally obligated to be an Islanders fan. But I went out to their new stadium and like went watching hockey. Hockey's no joke. I can't do that. I can't skate and keep track of a puck and also fight dudes. Like,
yeah.
So no, like I respect the hell out of athletes and athleticism. Absolutely, for sure. I just have no time to like follow all the sports teams. Like that's a whole cinematic universe I just can't get into right now. So
cinematic universe.
Yeah.
I've never heard someone refer to it as that.
Well, that's what I thought fantasy sports was at first. Like when someone was like, "Do you want to do my fantasy sports?" You know, like I was like, "Do I get a Charizard on my team? Like, what is this?"
Oh my god!
Nice.
But
gotta catch them all.
I like sports. I just don't like watching sports, you know, or the teams or anything. I don't know the history of the teams. Like I worked at a sports bar once.
And you can't play sports, so you don't like watching them or playing them. So yeah, he's probably not into sports.
I mean, I can't play sports, but I like watching it. Like all right. So guys, I have to be honest. I am so out of shape. So Alex, I'm overweight. I smoke. Had a history of drug abuse in the past. I'm garbage inside, right?
And he doesn't go outside.
I do go outside. I go outside for work and such. But I was at work. I had to run to the light rail station. I took 5 steps and my chest started hurting. Like
my God.
You know when you breathe in, when you ran along your lungs, 5 steps.
Yeah.
And I felt and I gotta say, ladies out there, Danny, I feel your pain because when I ran, I felt my tits bounce.
For sure.
And it hurts.
Yeah, running with tits is no joke.
It's not
gotta
good.
Tape them down.
Oh man.
So when I roller skated, that's what I had to do. I had to tape them down, like use an ace bandage and try to make myself as flat as I can.
Sports bro.
So how does one? So would you say you're a comedian first, or you're like a producer, program director first?
It's a good question because that I kind of go back and forth on that a lot. I mean, because I've been doing comedy for a while, like in the city, but it's hard to count for me. Like I was on the Late Show with David Letterman when I was 9.
Saw that.
So I did but then like I didn't do like any literal stand up until 2007. I took like a class in college while I was majoring in acting. And I was like, okay, I want to try. I want to write jokes. I want to see if it's just another thing that I can do. There's actors who are successful stand-ups. And I thought, if I take a proclivity to it, I'll give it a shot, but I don't want to be some guy who just gets up and bullshits and isn't really a stand-up. So I gave it a shot. And like, I found some liking to it. I enjoyed writing jokes and stuff, but like acting was what I really liked doing at the time. And that was like what I went to school for and stuff. But then around 2015, I was just like, I want something to do between acting stuff, or I want something to do while I, wait for the next big acting stuff to do. And I started producing independently at like bars and restaurants and stuff. And that was like my first time getting up and doing stand up in quite a few years. But, you dig up your old stuff, you think of some new stuff because you have energy in you. And then like, you just get up and roll the dice. And I just started booking any comic I could get my hands on, like anybody who would agree to come. Because like I didn't know anybody, and all I did was I would look at their websites and their social media and be like, all right, is this person funny? And do I have a reasonable expectation that if I messaged them, because I had like 2 or 3 friends in common, they would respond. So, and that was cool. And I scraped around in the city doing that for like a couple of years. And then I got an opportunity to manage in a comedy club, and that was amazing. I got to work at West Side Comedy Club, and that was like super fun. I hate to sound like I'm going off on a tangent, but can you remind me what your question actually was? Because I'm just going off right now. What was the point of the question? What do you need?
Are you a comic first?
Comic first. Fun. That's what the question was. We gotta. Yeah, I should like write it on a chalkboard. I think in my heart, I'm always going to be like 51% to 70% a producer, and I love producing and making a lineup. It's like you're a chef and a DJ. And that's something that I think about, because you're presenting a sequence, but it's also, it's like, they're like songs. So like they're quote consumed or like played, like they're like records. Each comic is like, what the act's going to be, what concepts they're going to explore, their energy.
Okay.
But I love writing jokes and I love getting up. So I think I'm always going to want to do that. And sometimes I feel like among comics, there's like an attitude of like, you're not a comic if you don't get up. So like, I don't think I'm going to be on late night, and I'm not trying to like become a nationally known comedian, but like, I feel like if I'm not getting up and practicing that, then, what am I doing it for? Why am I even trying it? I have the opportunity to write and tell jokes to people on a stage, which is something I like doing, just because I'm really, really good at like lining up an awesome bunch of comics and like getting a venue marketed and well, maybe not so much in the marketing. We all have our days, but like it's just because I know how to make a really good comedy show work in lots of types of spaces and stuff doesn't mean I can't also take a little advantage of that. Just don't indulge myself. I try to hold myself to that.
Okay.
So would you say like New York's pretty much saturated with clubs, or has the pandemic changed all that, or it sounds like there's a million of them out there.
Yeah. I think it's coming back strong. I think a lot of people are making shows. Some people are still not commuting to work or riding the trains. Like some people are banking on an outer borough show. Like, there's stuff happening in Astoria, Bushwick, Williamsburg, stuff happening in other parts of like Brooklyn and Queens. I did a show in the Bronx. It was a nice Saturday night show in a building that looked like a comedian terrarium. Actually, it was kind of fun because there was like this long, like L-shaped wall of glass windows, But yeah, like there is a lot of clubs, and there's a lot of places that call themselves clubs. I'll be straight up. Like the Huron Club, it's operated, for a while. Like right now, we handle a weekly show and like some open mics here at the club. Like we want to build it up and we want to progress and move forward. We might be doing that in the summer, actually. Like, we're still like working out with, the theater, which, we're doing it at their pleasure. So we have to move at their pace and understand it on their terms. But yeah, like New York's always going to be a great place to come and see comedy, and like people are always going to want to laugh and enjoy themselves, and comedy's like a weed, it's going to grow anywhere. And the clubs are still on top of like really good real estate. So people are still going to go to the clubs, and the clubs can offer a premium level service of comedy that, despite how great they are, like a lot of like nice backroom bar shows, like they can't replicate what Caroline's or Gotham or the Cellar can replicate for you. And that's okay. Like not every venue's like that.
So nice. So what are you going to say, Sharon?
No, go ahead.
I was just going to, you mentioned you like putting on a sequence when you book acts. are you like, okay, this person's going first, which will feed nicely into? Oh, you are.
It's bullet points of like when the show starts, and each bullet point is 15-minute increments, and you're thinking who has the bullet spot, which is like, I'm sure anybody who listens, if it's a comedy podcast, you know, like a bullet spot, you know, for the sake of rhetoric, it's the first spot. And then I don't know what they call the second spot, but like then you're thinking about like who's going after the bullet, and then like towards the end of the show, like right before you're going to bring up like your closer who you know is really strong. You might have some people who need the sweet spot, like for their comedy to work, like low energy comics or storyteller people, or maybe like an alt act. Like if I put up like a cabaret act who's going to do like a 3-song set, or a musical comedian, I love giving them the sweet spot, because that's when the audience is like really warmed up and really relaxed. And like, maybe they're not expecting a punchline every 3 seconds. Maybe they're willing to like trust a longer act or an act that's not what they expect. But then you're putting up a traditional stand up right at the end, and they're going to rip the room up and blow it wide open. So you're good. So that's what I love about the Seek. It's like being a chef and a DJ. It's like a meal that you listen to. There's no other way to describe it, really.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like I didn't
think about the progression of the show.
No, I just assumed it was a hodgepodge of, all right, this person's first, this person's last. Everybody else just fight for your fucking time.
No,
that's not to say that plans don't go to shit. You know, like. I mean, running a comedy show, it's like a theater company, except the actors don't do what you tell them to do, and they're always late. It's interesting. I've definitely had moments where I'm like juggling, and also comics like to hang out at the club, which is great, because then I'm like, oh, hey, I need you to do 7 right now, because like I'm waiting on someone like to get their ass in here, and like. So like lineups are always subject to change. Any club can tell you that. But for the most part, you are trying to think. It's like, you know, you are trying to think of the sequence, and you are trying to think of who's going up at what time and when, how long the show's actually going to be. And then like maybe you got a really rocking room. You're like, can I squeeze a little more of these guys? Like, can I put up another comic doing 15? Because I got so and so here who came to have a drink, but they're also like an awesome comic. I want to put them up, but like, you know, so you're always thinking about that.
Being that you have an acting background and stuff, you ever thought about going, since you also do programming and stuff, do you ever think about doing the Judd Apatow way and start doing some directing?
Well, yeah. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, obviously, wanting to book comics and organize their lineups of the clubs, like it could be a semi-narcissist act, like that you think you know better and you think you know what the evening ought to be. You know, I can totally see that. And like wanting to be the director could also be I don't want to say narcissist, because I know directors, you know, and I don't think they're narcissists, but I can see that same energy applying. I directed a 20-minute directing scene in college when I majored in theater. I did, what the first one I did was a Beckett short, Samuel Beckett. Do you know the play Waiting for Godot?
Yeah. Yes.
No.
Yeah. So it was a short by the same playwright, a French absurdist playwright. And then for a longer thing, I did like a shortened version of The Importance of Being Earnest. And that was like a 50-minute presentation that I had to direct in college and stuff. And I've directed off Broadway before too. So I have done it. Directing a production is fun. I like acting a little more than I like directing. But booking comedy was really like, you know, it was an aha moment for me. Where I was like, oh wow, I like doing this. I can do this. And then when I realized like not a lot of people can like manage comedy or know how to work at a venue or know how to arrange a lineup and stuff. So it's cool. It's like a niche thing that might always come in handy for me. So right now I'm rocking out at Huron Club. I could be rocking out somewhere else later. So, but
sounds
directing,
like herding cats.
Herding cats. Well,
I just imagine it being like our Deadpool episode, like on a regular basis, just pure chaos. And then you get people that'll, you know, confirm and then they don't show up.
That's only very rarely happened. The last time it happened, the guy I messaged the guy the next morning was like, I got COVID and got knocked out. I was like, oh, well, okay. You know,
look at you getting people hitting you back. I just get straight ghosted.
Well, the difference there, though, is, oh, no, I flaked on a podcast, as opposed to, oh, shit, this guy won't let me go up on stage if I flake on him.
How dare you, sir?
Well, and people, you know, you're booking comedians, and I'm a comedian and I love doing comedy. I'm not going to not show up somewhere if I say I'm going to be there unless, you know, I get COVID. Yeah. Even then, I'll show up. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. I just won't tell anyone.
It's a nuanced business, though. I mean,
that's responsible.
Yeah. It's a nuanced business. Yeah. It's nuanced, though. Like, suppose you're booking free spots or something, or your spot pay is a certain amount, and then someone's like, "Hey, something opened up at such and such a club, and I can get like $70 to do it." So, hey, I got to bounce. Like, shit happens. We can say shit, right?
Yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Get fuck, dick, jizz,
cunt.
Yep. I didn't want to be the one to say that. So
it's Danny's favorite.
Scallion. It's one of my favorite.
Rapscallion. Yeah. You got me. I was going to say rapscallion.
Jesus. So I do want to get to something before we get to our special popular thing. I do want to talk about your voiceover work, because you voiced over some stuff for, what was it? It's Stella Artois and fucking a protein bar or something.
Yeah. So the Stella thing was never publicly released. Actually, that was an internal ad kind of thing. So it's like, I mean, I basically just, I went in, and actually the cool thing about that gig was I went in and somebody didn't show up, and I got to read for 2 different roles. So I got paid double. Oh, cool. But I was just voicing like some animatronics that to an ad that would be filmed in real life. So like, I guess like when people in a company, because companies are risk adverse, like that's what it's all about. So, they're like, before we commit to cameras and actors and everything, I want to see it cartooned out first. And then they make someone cartoon it out and have a guy voice over it. So I did one of those. So that never, and if that did get released, I wouldn't have been part of it, because they would have like filmed some guy who looked like me, but like, 30 pounds lighter and like working out and stuff to,
Yeah.
But the second thing that I've done, and it's been so thankfully, knock on wood, regular, is Pure Protein, which is like a workout bar. You can find it. And then I see it in 7-Eleven pretty much like all the time. Like it's always out there. But they call me in for more tags or for more opening stuff, like for their ads or whatever. And they've just been really, really good to me. I could never be more grateful.
Now, when you say you voiced over the stuff, like, are these legit commercials, or are these, because you said tags. So like, are you going
tags? No, like, cause like when I first, like one of the first things I did for them was when I did the opening line, and they've used that recording multiple years in a row, and they keep extending my contract or offering a new contract, which is non-union. So like there's no buyout or residual. Instead, there's no residual. Instead, they buy out. Buying out means they just buy you for a year. So they buy my original, but then sometimes they update the commercial. It's like, now we've got birthday cake, or now there's lemon flavor. And like, I'll come in and like lay down a couple of more tags or tracks, and like that's what they edit in, and they'll use that session. And then sometimes they'll buy out those tags again. And then I'm getting bought out for what I did originally and the new tags, and it all adds up, and green grass grows all around and around. But that's not enough. But that's not enough to like actually like support, support myself and stuff. Like the voiceover, I'm fortunate to get. I wish I can get more, but it's a competitive business. But I'm really, really happy that I get to be part of the Pure Protein thing. They're nice people over there.
You're underrated Gilbert Gottfried. Affleck.
Affleck, yeah.
So I got 2 questions. So one question is, since you like you pointed out about your voice acting and you don't do it union, does that help or harm you? Because it's always one of those things that you want to be union, so you basically so you'll be paid evenly or more. But you also don't want to be union because you're trying to get in the door, because a lot of them are holding you up for that. I can only speak to my experience, but I think in large part, unions protect workers, and I'm very pro union. My parents used to teach me union fight songs when I was a kid and stuff. So like, I'm definitely pro that. And I'm hella excited about those jackasses in Staten Island that just like, shoved a union up Bezos's butt, but I would say that being union would open some doors for me and would close others, certainly. But in the long run, I think a union is better for artists and better for workers in general. So like if I was working to the point where the union like was like, hey, you're working a lot, you're doing this, and like you're signing these union contracts. It's basically a convoluted system where you can work on a union contract but not become part of the union. You build up a combination of time and points and yada yada. And so like if the union said to me like, listen, you are working significantly on union time or union terms,
at a certain point, you must join the union. Like I would join. Like I'm not a union protects workers. So and I firmly believe that. So I wouldn't want to do it too soon because in some ways these performing arts unions do act like guilds. Not so much unions, they're more guilds, but overall, unions are fine with me. So I understand the responsibility that workers have to join unions.
Definitely. Yeah. I've had union life.
Yeah. Oh, cool. And what was your second question? Did you have a second one?
Well, the second question had a two-parter, and actually, answer both of them because I was going to basically say if you had a chance to join one, would you or not? Or it's like you already pointed out, you would, but just like you point out, the unions are like guilds, and it's like, I remember those days.
If I felt like it was necessary and I was ready, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. So, does anybody have anything else before we get to our ultra popular thing?
No.
Thank you for answering me, Danny. Look at everybody else just shaking their head. All right. So, Alex, have you listened to the podcast before?
I'm a big fan of jumping into the unknown.
Okay, good. Yeah, because if you did, you probably wouldn't have agreed to come on. So thank God you didn't listen. So we have this ultra popular thing called Inside the Comic Studio.
Brilliant.
Yes. Before we do that, though, Alex, plug your social media, plug any shows you got coming up, plug your clubs. I don't know if you're going to be going back to doing stuff at the Don't Tell Mama Comedy Club, but if you're doing that, plug that as well.
Well, I mean, it's kind of you to mention. I was at Don't Tell Mama for about a year, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that Don't Tell Mama gave me. It was a fun year to book that show for them. I'm not at Don't Tell Mama anymore, but it's a fantastic piano bar near Times Square. I recommend anyone go there. For the price of 2 drinks, you can hear some incredible singers belting out songs that'll pull your heartstrings, wake you up, and it's a good spot, good people.
This guy knows how to play politician because he was like, I wasn't, I'm not there anymore, but they're great. I don't want to burn any bridges.
I went there when I was in New York. It was fucking fantastic. It was so fucking cool.
Yeah, aren't they great? Aren't they fucking talented over there?
Stupid talented.
So it's like a karaoke type thing?
No, not at all. It's not karaoke. No. At karaoke, the guest is the show. At a piano bar, you're a guest at the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's fun if you know the rules.
Isn't it also like a cabaret thing too?
They have 2 cabaret rooms in the back. Yeah, it's an iconic cabaret venue. Like it's just as New York as Rhapsody in Blue or Cheesecake or anything else. It's what?
I said dumplings at 2 a.m.
Dumplings, Pizza Rat, everything. The robot pigeons. I know we got all of it.
Birds aren't real. All right, plug whatever you want, buddy.
Yeah. So we are weekly Thursdays over at Huron Club. We're going to be expanding in the summer. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Don't quote me. Maybe edit that out. I don't know. And my social media is OH Alex Simmons. So it's like when I say something stupid and you facepalm. So it's like, oh, Alex Simmons. But I'm that on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. People always ask the story behind it. I was the full name kid in high school. So I was the kid that was so weird everyone called them by their full name all the time. So that's where my social media comes from. And I don't think I have anything else really plugged. Just if you're in New York City Thursday night and you want to see some awesome stand-up comedy, come check out Huron Club, or just DM me on any other day of the week, and I'll tell you where to go. Because there's no shortage of awesome shows in the city that I would love to point you at.
All right, and if you're a new comedian, certainly email him a bunch.
Yeah, no. Email me your tape, and maybe I won't respond, but email me a new tape later. That's like I said, like right at the top to bring it full circle. It's if there's anything I can say as someone who's produced a lot of comedy, it's that don't give up, but don't be a dick.
How long do you give? How long do you honestly sit there and we'll watch an audition tape? Like, in your opinion, how long should audition tapes be?
Send me a type 5 tape, but also send me a longer set. It's nice to see that you can do a longer set, that you do have longer sets in you. But I'm not going to watch the longer set unless I really like the first set.
Yeah.
and make sure it's like really like joke, laugh, bam, boom. It's got to be like they don't call it a tight 5 for nothing, you know?
Right.
But I will watch the whole thing if I really like it, obviously. But sometimes I'll like it, but I don't need to watch you. And I'll like do some other stuff on my browser while I'm listening to you, but I still like you. But usually what I'm doing is I'm paging over to something else because I'm like, where am I going to fit this person in? But like, I like you, like, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
But even if I don't like you, I really make an effort. I want to watch because if I want to give feedback or if I just want to fully understand, maybe you got an awesome closer and like, you know, I can write back and say, hey, that was an awesome closer. Explore that, do that. There may come a time where I'm not as benevolent in stand-up, right? But at the moment, if I'm in this position, I have a responsibility. So I got to make sure that I'm promoting comics the right way at my shows. And I got to make sure that I'm encouraging comics when I can. And I got to make sure that I'm rewarding merit and not being political about it and just trying to like get on stage and make myself better or make myself more out there. I want to do right by the people whose time that I'm asking for.
That's awesome.
I got a sub question to that.
Yeah.
Does video framing matter? Like if it's just a camera focusing on a fucking shot glass, but you can hear the comedian, is that just as good?
No, I want to see you. I want to see you. I want to hear you. If it's too fuzzy that I can't understand like the texture of your voice or something, there's a problem because I want to know what you sound like. So like your audio is half your video. So step it up. I want to see, make sure that if you're moving around a lot, you set your frame correctly, but I don't really need to see audience. If the room is full of people laughing and vibing on your set, I'll know, I'll see it. You know? Mm-hmm. And yeah, but I don't overthink video quality either. Like, you know, I don't need to, it doesn't need to be so detailed that I know how often you shave, but but I should be able to hear you and see you basically.
All right. Nice. Danny, you got plugs?
Yeah, I do. You can find all my upcoming shows on my IG page at RadChickForever. And then April 23rd, I'll be on the East Coast. I'll be in Virginia. And I'm going to stay out there for a while. So come and see me in SAC if you're here. If not, catch me on the road.
Nice. Are you no longer going to Chicago?
No, I am. Oh. I'm just doing it the first week of May.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sharon.
Oh, you can catch me on my podcast and Iambic Poetry Podcast. We got some new poets coming out because it's National Poetry Month this month of April.
Hey.
And we got some new poets, and we also got some new poetry movie reviews. And also check out my show. I have a comedy poetry show going on called What's So Funny About Poetry going on April 19th. And we have a good lineup. Check it out. It's over at Staff Comedy Theater.
Nice. Poetry movies?
Yes, I do poetry. I do poetry movies. Yes.
The fuck is a poetry movie?
Have you ever seen Poetic Justice? That's like a poetry movie.
Dead Poet Society.
That's a cool
poetry movie.
I like that one.
It just says poet.
also, the first season of The Get Down was really cool in terms of poetry and wordsmithing and like. Yeah. Okay. Side note. All right. Do you have any more plug or no? For a second, I thought The Get Down was going to become some like epic urban fantasy shit. I thought like any minute, like they were going to literally like speak Doctor Strange sparkly geometric shapes into being and like fight demons coming out of the subway or something. But like, then it went off the rail. Like Baz Luhrmann's a nutcase, but like for a minute there, The Get Down was some of the most brilliant shit I had ever seen on fucking TV, and I was really digging that show. And then
you guys shut off.
Oh man, yeah, no, but like, but you know what I'm talking about though, right? Like it was some cool shit. I liked it.
Robert.
Get my side project, the Stand Up Dads podcast. I do that with my buddy Mike. We talk about parenting, throwing some dick jokes. We're on a hiatus, but that may be ending soon. But in the meantime, we've got over 140 episodes you can check out.
Nice. Yeah. And who knows? Maybe I will pop in.
You're not a dad.
No, but he lives right by me, apparently. So
yeah,
I'll just walk on over there and be like, hey, what's all you guys are recording?
Oh, Mike doesn't live in Folsom anymore?
He never lived in Folsom.
Oh, okay.
So
different Mike.
Oh.
Follow me on Twitter at TheBigNickJ. I don't know who our guest is next week. As of yet, we will be off the following week because I will be on a much needed vacation. And then after that, we have Morty the Mortician and Dan the Can't Stand Up Comedian. Okay. And then whoever, Danny's got to probably send me who she said wanted to be on before.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I'll send you a list of comics that haven't been on.
I got a comedian for you, but it's welcome. But no.
What? Hey, I'm not done yet. My plugs.
Oh, no. Sorry, my fault.
No, everyone does this. Fantasy-funeral.com. Head over there. Also, we have merch. TeePublic. There'll be a link in the show notes. Click that. You can get me naked riding a horse with a flag.
Oh my God. Can I get a picture of it?
Yeah. You can get a poster.
Oh my God. Yes.
I have an apron.
He has an apron. Yeah.
Oh my God. I need this poster.
And Alex, just so you know, the kind of friendship Rob and I have, I believe I asked him to send me a picture of him wearing his apron naked, and he did.
Fuck yeah.
That's what friends are for. Yeah.
And holding a chef knife and everything.
Yeah. And his wife just said, we have a weird friendship.
If you can't send each other naked pictures, then what the fuck are you doing? Life's too short for that shit.
100%.
My junk wasn't hanging out. It was tasteful,
just
dude.
His hairy calves.
Go, guys, step it up. Go whole hog. Come on.
Yeah. Pull it out.
I'm severely disappointed as the cultured New Yorker on this podcast.
We need to get some culture and start sending a dick pics. Is that what I'm hearing?
I was called cultured on a podcast. Oh my God. man, I'm from like Brooklyn. I'm just
Brooklyn.
Yes.
Brooklyn.
Every goddamn show there's some jerk off who yells when I say I'm from Brooklyn. But it's cool because I'll make a pun out of it or something.
Hey.
That was you, Sharon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll jerk off. Yeah. Air voice.
Sharon, you were going to ask something before we get into it?
No, I was gonna say that you're a guest on one of the my poetry movie shows. Where Art Thou? He was on the Where Art Thou episode.
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Alex. Yeah.
No, I was saying.
Yes, I was.
Wait, you mean the film "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou"? Or,
yes. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
That's a good movie.
Because it's based on Homer's Odyssey. So yeah, we divulged into that, and that was pretty interesting. I did like that.
So
it's nice to show my intellectual side.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
All righty. So inside the comic studio, we ask all comedians the same 5 questions. And since you are a comedian as well as like a producer, booker type thing, you can answer as either or. It's up to you.
Okay.
So the first question is first joke that landed well.
First joke for me that landed well?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably my bread and butter, my opener, or I'll sneak it in if I think of another opener. But what's up? I'm Jewish. I don't think I look all that Jewish, but my friends say the minute I start talking, they know I'm Jewish because I never stop.
I'm so glad in today's society we can laugh at that shit.
Yeah, or some variation of that. Like that was probably a way too wordy version of it, but basically something like that.
All right. Next question is favorite thing about the local comedy scene.
That's the thing about New York, though. It's like everything is a local comedy scene. Like, let me see. My favorite local comedy scene. Dun, 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 dun. You know what? I really like the Bleecker McDougal stretch. It's just really, really nice. It's not a complete bonkers area like Times Square. And it's like chill. Like you can catch a comedy show or something. But there's also like some really cool restaurants around there. You got Artichoke Pizza. It's a cool stretch. I know a lot of comics, so I can always find like a friend or two down there or something. It's like, and it's not dirty and trashy and terrible like Times Square. You feel a little more classy or a little just, It's a nice area, and I would definitely say I've spent many nights like on that block, and it's a fun block.
All right, so let me re-ask it then. If I were to say what's good about the comedy scene in New York, like they're welcome, they're you get a chance to go up everywhere, things like that.
Okay, I mean, I think what I really like about the comedy scene in New York is that it is so big and pervasive. Is that there's a lot of places where you can get up. And it's not like a state with a less populous city or a more rural state or something where it's harder to either get around or get enough people together. So like if you want to go around and like go see, bounce around between different bars and see like backroom shows that, you know, you don't pay a cover, and like you're watching, you know, medium to good comics working stuff out mostly. Like they're not doing their best stuff like in those shows. You can do that, or you can like go to clubs like twice or thrice a year and enjoy top tier comedy, or you can do all in between. It's got something for every tier of comedy fan, depending on what they want to see any given night. And I think that's really great. And yeah, like, you know, there's a lot of spots and opportunity and places to go and get up. You know, so like it's there's a lot. It's big. Everything is its own. I talked about cinematic universes in sports. Like every comedy venue and scene can be its own universe. It can have its own plot, you know, three act plot arc, so to speak. Yeah.
Now, the exact opposite. One thing you dislike, would like to see changed in the scene.
Oh God, where to begin? I wish that whatever combination of venue owners and bookers it has to be would get some religion and realize that comics are too narcissistic to work together, and a comics union is really tough to make, and get some damn religion about how they're going to treat the comics and how they're going to find a way to take some of the exploitation out of it. I heard on a podcast recently that banks are more cyber secure than like our own government, because banks got religion real quick. Because it was like, if you lose your life savings because of some dickhead in like one of the stands in Europe or something, or like, you know, or wherever, like, you know, evil can come from anywhere. So fuck that shit. But like, you know, banks got religion on that really quick. I wish more bookers and producers and venues, the people who have the real estate, you know, the very valuable real estate would get a little religion on that. You know, but there are realities of running comedy venues and realities of getting people out. So like, you know, who am I to point and blame, you know? So, but that's one thing that I would think about. I think the person who holds the line for how comics are treated is the person who's booking the comics. And that's why I think it's more of a responsibility than a privilege or a ego trip job, you know? That's one major thing that I think I'd really like to change. You know, another major thing I really like to see change, and like, this might be controversial because like everyone wants to rage about wokeness and stuff, but I think there's some things about comedy that can be more inviting. It's a hospitality experience. People go out to bars and clubs to have a good time. They don't go out to get roasted or be targeted or become part of someone's act. You know, comics should really think twice before like getting up and then doing 8 minutes about like someone in the front row. That's only feeding the cat. Like, don't feed the cat. Don't feed the heckler, you know? But I'm not going to tell comics what to do, you know what I mean? But people remember how you make them feel, and like, you want everybody laughing. So that's, you know, sort of another thing that I think could change about comedy. And stop with the drink tickets. Like, think of something else. Like, I want a merch. Like, give me a mug. Like, if I do 5 spots for your club, like, give me a mug or something, or like a t-shirt or I don't know. Like,
right.
Yeah.
All right.
That was 3 things. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. All right. Next question. Favorite local comedian?
My favorite local comedian. This is a tough question because I'm afraid of whoever I answer, they'll call me angry because I downgraded them to local comedian. So can I
how about this? Can we change it to who do you think I should get on the podcast next?
Who do I think you should get on the podcast next?
Yes. And I hope they're listening because I will be messaging them.
Which one of your friends do you want to refer to our podcast? We would like 10 referrals.
Yes, 10 referrals. Oh God. You know what? I'm gonna cop the fuck out. Anyone on one of my fucking lineups, you know where to find them. They're all tagged, so you can, have at it. It's a plethora. It's a buffet.
Alex.
Yeah. That's my good. Now you can follow me on Twitter.
All right, and then lastly, advice to new comedians.
Ooh. I feel like a new comedian like once a month though. Okay. Right. and then right.
You could tell
And
his
then right.
Jewishness is coming out. Like he's just like, fuck.
Wait, what's distinctly Jewish about
Like
this?
you're
moment?
just gonna go on a tangent. I can see it. I can see it in your eyes. Like you're about to just like let it go.
No. I will. No. Here's what else is, be yourself. Fuck it. Like, know who the fuck you are. If you don't know who the fuck you are, don't get up there. Because if you're faking or fronting or boasting or showboating or anything like that, the audience knows. They know. The camera doesn't lie. The audience doesn't not detect bullshit. So know who the fuck you are and why you're funny. And as long as you follow that North Star, you'll never do wrong. You'll never bomb, in my opinion, if you do those two things.
Nice. I like how in the beginning you were like, we can say shit. And then just now you're like, no, the fuck you are.
He's warmed up.
Yeah, warmed up. Yeah, I warmed up to it. It's nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that
the
does
hardest thing, though, the know why you're funny. Because it's I could say, hey, I got him to laugh. I mean, it's kind of like when someone tells me, hey, that was good sex. Really? It's just,
yeah.
Well, shit.
Both comics we've recently had on here from New York have said the same answer. Know why you're funny.
That is true.
I mean, why you're funny?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, know why you're funny. Know why you're telling this joke and this joke is funny.
That makes sense.
I thought like find your own voice or something, but you're saying know why you're funny. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like find your voice is just know who you are in a different pronunciation, though. I mean, like it. I don't know. Less. That's true. I don't know. I mean, here, look at it this way. People who do. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
No, I was saying that's a good point, though. That's good.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking now. It's like I think I understand why I'm funny. It's like,
know why you're funny. Know why you're up there talking to people.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I would say is like people who do one man shows, like on off Broadway or sometimes on Broadway. Sometimes they hire directors because the ability to direct yourself is tough. It's very, very tough. He gets canceled once a week, but like Mel Gibson, like hired someone to direct him in Braveheart. You know what I mean? Like he, you know what I mean? Like, and the best movies that say written and directed by or directed and starring by, there's always like some reliable dude who was the guy who was like, hey, actually, like, it might be like you need people that can knock you down a peg working with you, honestly. So yeah, but you got to know who the fuck you are. And I think if you know who you are and you know why you're funny, you'll therefore be able to direct yourself because you'll be able to go, no, sorry, that's not on brand. That's not you. That's not, but if you don't know, if you're just getting out there, like, swinging in the wild of the dark, then, you might hit something once in a while, but no.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Alex, can you stay for a bit or do you got to head out for shows?
No, I'm not booked. I'm a loser.
Oh, good. Because we have something to go over and it's nostalgic in the worst kind of way.
Is it the anniversary or something?
No, I don't know.
No. So I posted on Twitter, McGruff, the crime fighting dog. Do you guys remember him?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I put it on Twitter and I said, does anybody remember this guy? And, some people did. But one person from Friday night podcast, the Bereft of Dial, Danny D's favorite guy.
Who?
The guy from Boston.
Oh, Jim. Yeah. Okay. My bad.
Yeah. I'm not on a first name basis with him.
Ouch, Jim.
That's definitely staying in.
No. Sorry.
He sent me a link to, did you guys know that McGruff had a cassette of songs?
What?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Oh, Scruff McGruff. Oh.
Smart kids don't use drugs.
Yeah. So this is the Smart Kids album. And look, he's looking pretty dapper.
Yeah.
So thank God he sent me this because, it's just glorious. So the track list, if anybody's wondering, is first track, Winners Don't Use, left open to interpretation. Second one is No, No, No. Third, Marijuana. 4, Inhalants. 5, Cocaine and Crack. 6,
That's
Alcohol.
my favorite.
What, Cocaine and Crack?
Cocaine and Crack. It's got to be a rap song.
7, just say
Oh,
no.
yes.
Then 8, smart kids. 9, make your body last.
Make your body last.
What the fuck?
10, I'll decide on my own.
It's a song about edging, actually.
So I figure we'll just go with the opener so we can all enjoy it. Let me just make sure I'm sharing the sound for everybody. Okay, good. Oh, wait.
Thanks, Jim.
I'm thinking Make Your Body Last is like a slow R&B
I hope
bop.
so. I fucking hope so. I
Slow
hope they had
R&B.
art.
And
had
now I'm
already
imagining
write a
like
track.
Scruff McGruff singing a slow R&B song now.
Oh, good.
They're all that crappy 80s rap that,
Oh my
you
god,
know,
I
like
can't
the
wait.
the Chicago Bears did.
Yeah.
Mm.
Stuff like that.
But this
All right.
is worse because it's a crime-fighting dog.
Yeah.
Play this shit.
And the guy has no
McGruff
talent.
here. I want you to learn a song that tells people to say no to drugs. Users are losers, and losers are users. So don't use drugs, don't use drugs. Winners don't use, and users don't win. So don't use drugs, don't use drugs. If you know a user even part of the time, tell them to quit, take a bite out of crime. Users are losers, and losers are users. So don't use drugs, don't use drugs. Oh.
I just got to say, all of us are having a
that
great...
was so cool. What did you stop it for, dude?
Because I just want to point out, because the audio listeners can't see it, but we are all bobbing our heads, having a good time. Rob is looking disgusted as fuck.
Fuck
Just
yeah.
like he's just looking down like, God damn this.
It just dawned on me that Danny is a user.
Like all my friends are users.
Yeah, she's not a user part of the time either.
All the time. All the time.
That's not quite fair though, Nick, because like you played like a jazz progression that like really I know that like that I mean that song's not hardly original, but like that jazz progression, like I love that structure kind of like like so
Feels like
so
I'm
yeah,
at
no, like
Farrell's.
that, yeah. Like yeah, that's a bop for me. Sorry.
Well, here, we'll finish the song because there's only 30 seconds left.
I have
Nice.
to hear Make Your Body Last.
Oh,
Yes.
we will.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, if you know a user even part of the time, tell them to quit, take a bite out of crime. Users are losers, and losers are users. So don't use drugs, don't use drugs. Nice going. Now teach it to your mom and dad and brothers and sisters and friends to help take a bite out of crime. Don't
Okay.
use drugs.
Oh, God.
I guarantee you half of the kids that were singing there have sucked a cock for drugs.
Maybe McGruff's cock.
Maybe.
All right. We'll skip no because, you know, it's not that good. But marijuana is pretty awesome. I mean, this is straight up 80s.
Seriously. Marijuana, don't try it at all. It's a lie. It's like beating your head on a wall. Say no way. Marijuana's a fast way to fall. You will pay, 'cause it's doing you no good at all. And you know, if you gamble with life, you can lose it. Gotta grow.
Built this city.
So I was thinking too. I was thinking that. I was like, it was either Built the City or Rock Like a Hurricane. I was like,
Yeah, I'm actually, my friends hate doing karaoke with me because I have a really nasty habit that I'll pick a pop song, but then like halfway through I'll start singing the chorus of like a different song.
Yeah.
You know, or just if the radio's on, because it doesn't have to be karaoke. Like when Adele's Easy on Me came on, when the chorus hit, I just kept doing the Counting Crows song, 6th Avenue Heartache, because it was the exact same chords. And then after I did it, I couldn't fucking unhear it for the rest of my God, or at least however long that song will exist, you know?
I think it's even the Pokemon theme song too. I think those are the same chords as the Pokemon theme song.
Could be.
Wait, Adele is the Pokemon. Wait,
No,
really?
marijuana.
Marijuana was the yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I love that Pokemon theme.
'Cause your life is a gift, don't abuse it. And you know, if you
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You know,
Sorta.
I graduated from the DARE program. Look at me now.
Musical theater was my wife, but I knocked up comedy, so
All right, so then we'll do inhalants, and then we'll end with Make Your Body Last.
Okay, please. I hope Make Your Body Last is a slow jam.
It better sound like some Versace on the floor shit, you know? Billie Jean.
Learn a lesson so true.
Pointer Sisters.
There's danger in inhalants. They can break you into.
Damn it, there's no closed captioning. I was hoping we could sing along.
You listen enough, you can.
Breathing them is really no thrill. Don't you know inhalants really can kill? You'll be suffering pain. They will damage your brain.
Don't do inhalants.
Cause it's really insane.
Don't do inhalants.
Cause inhalants kill.
Cause inhalants kill.
Learn a lesson so.
Yo, this is fucking awesome. I love this shit. It's like maybe just because I did like some bong rips before this, but like
this joint has fully set in. I'm having a great time.
All right, guys, you ready for the R&B?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Make Your Body Last.
I'll have to message Jim and let him know. Thank you. I'll have to tell him thank you. And be like, don't listen to the podcast. Saxophone. Wow.
By the way, I just want to say it's only coming out of one side, so it will go to two after a while. Go stereo.
Other kids are taking drugs and want you to play today. If you care, really care about what goes inside you, you'll say.
What's that?
Cause it's your body. You've got to make it last. It's your body. Treat it right. Cause it's your body. You've got to make it last. It's your body. Treat it right. Right.
Treat it right.
Just think.
Got a sex
in all the world, there's only one.
Oh my God, he's gonna break it down, guys.
He's doing the
I can't wait.
Yeah. Let's hear what he has to say. Come on.
I can't wait.
This could be the intervention Danny D needs.
No, it's about to be summertime.
It's a very special gag on this.
In all the world, there's only one you, and anything you ever do will be done in your body. Since bodies are made to last a good long time, don't hurt yours by putting drugs in it. Just say no. When some kids, other kids, are taking drugs and want you to play.
Oh, this is horrible.
Say no.
Really care about what goes inside you, you'll say.
No way.
Cause it's your body. You've got to make it last. It's your body. Treat it right.
Treat it right.
Cause it's your body. You've got to make it last. It's your body. Treat it right. Cause it's your body.
I mean, that's pretty funky.
Oh
right there,
man,
guys.
that's great.
That was tight.
So we'll end with the last one. Well, they should have put a capital. I thought it was I'm glad in me.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm at me. Let's hear the final message, guys. Oh shit.
Let's get crazy.
I like being me. And I know that you agree.
Oh God.
It is so very true. You're the best at being you. Really you. Really you. Yeah. I like every day. Every day. I can work and I can play. I play. Every day when it's done. I look back on all
the music from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, it does feel that way.
And it makes me want to go huff spray paint. I'm sorry. This is fucking awful.
Hold on. Suggested Burger King proudly presents McGruff Cares for Kids.
Wow.
Burger King got involved? Wow.
Crime.
Oh, shit.
It's a natural feeling like feeling.
He's a repeat offender.
So Nick, thank you for having me on. I hate to bounce early. I actually do gotta start.
All right.
Save yourself.
Let's take care.
Thank you so much for having me on, guys. It was cool to hang out with you guys. And,
thank you.
I'll certainly see you around. Thank you.
All right. Later.
Okay.
Later.
He was out of here.
Yeah, he was like, no more McGruff.
And no more McGruff. He's like, you guys are going down a dark hole.
Throws a soda can in the street. That's litter. Then somebody
no.
else sees the mess and says, I guess this is the place to dump garbage.
Yeah.
Picking up your socks, it's easy when you just start small.
Oh, Jesus, no.
Okay, we need
No?
to tap out on this.
Yeah. Rob had no reaction this whole fucking time other than gritting his teeth.
Ooh.
Rob!
Oh, I wasn't staring at Rob.
Whoever thought this is good, this will work.
I mean,
Hey,
it obviously did.
gotta sell.
I don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Okay.
While you're
Okay.
sleeping.
Yeah.
You couldn't even say that with a straight fucking face.
Hey, boys. Yeah, whatever.
All right. So I guess that'll be it, guys.
And if you did sing on that tape, I want to know what your stance is on drugs now.
Yes,
I want to know who touched you as a child.
Yes.
Wow.
I do too. I want to know.
Oh, that just sounded gross.
I know.
Did McGruff keep his head on when he was touching you?
Ew.
All right, guys, take it easy.
Ew.
See ya.
See ya.